Welcome back, my friends, to the Coliseum. Oh, baby, we got a saucy little contender today. I, of course, am GrizzlyMantes. Happy to have you here, friends. Well, I was going to say a couple weeks. Maybe it was a couple months back. I can't remember. We played Feather the Redeemed, a fabulous little deck, and got me thinking, you know what? Maybe we don't need Feather. Maybe we should try Featherless Feather. And here we are. Featherless Feather. Let's start off with the beginning. You know, Feather is an amazing card. It really is. But sometimes having a 3-drop... And honestly, I think now that I'm actually talking about it, I should put it in the sideboard for the best of 3 matches. But having a 3-mana flyer that is value incarnate is fabulous. But sometimes you just need to win before you get to that point. Can this deck do that? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, sometimes. Maybe. But it is solid. So let's break it down. Let's see how we do. And let's talk it over and see if we can do this without the Angel. So, starting with the threats. Clever Lumimancer, 0-1 for 1 is Magecraft, of course. He gets +2/+2 whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell. Now, the idea of this deck, of course, is to cast as many instants or sorceries on our creatures in order to secure a victory, and Lumimancer does it beautifully. Plus, he has synergies with our specialized removal, which we'll get to in a moment. Soul-Scar Mage, similar premise. However, this one, instead of getting +2/+2, he only gets +1/+1 for non-creature spells. However, he's got the bonus perk of if a source you control will deal non-combat damage to a creature, an opponent controls, put that many -1/-1 counters on that creature instead. That is huge. Being able to shrink the creature or get around a creature with, I mean, if you run into something with indestructible, but shrinking it's the biggest thing, because a lot of times they'll have an ability that may save a creature from certain things, but you can't save it from -1/-1 counters. Soul-Scar Mage, BEA beautiful, love him. This little bad boy, oh, he's running amok in Standard, and he is well-deserved. Illuminator Virtuoso. This guy is fabulous. You get a 1/1 for 2 with a double strike. Of course, we all know. Deals this regular damage and this first strike damage. So double strike. Whenever he becomes the target of a spell or ability you control, it connives, meaning draw a card, discard a card. If it's a non-land card, it gets a +1/+1 counter. This dude gets big fast. But you guys know that from Standard. Here, he just shines. He shines. In the Feather build or the regular build, this guy is a new staple, and he is a BEA beautiful. Dreadhorde Arcanist, a 1/3 for 2 with Trample. Whenever he attacks, you may cast an instant or sorcery card with a mana value less than or equal to his power from your graveyard. Now, lucky for us, all of our spells cost 1 with a very minor exception. So this dude's always bouncing our spells back, whether it be removal, pump, doesn't matter. Fabulous. Love him. Although I will say he may need to just be a 3-of. We'll see how the games go, but in my time, it can go either way. However, I like him as a 4-of because of how powerful he can be. And then finally, 10th District Legionnaire. I only have 2 of these. If I did cut a Dreadhorde Arcanist, it would be for another Legionnaire. We get a 2/2 for 2 with haste. Whenever you cast a spell that targets him, he gets a +1/+1 counter, and you scry 1. That's in addition to whatever the other spell does. That's his own ability, and it is fantastic. I mean, the ability, the key word here, the biggest thing, as good as that second block of text is there, to me, the best part of this card is the word haste. None of our threats have haste. Now, we'll get to some of the things that I'm doing to give them haste in a moment, but a lot of times with decks like this, you will get in a monster swing, like a monster swing, knocking your opponent to low single-digit life before they stabilize. Before they remove your key threat, they sweep, whatever it takes. At that point, you're playing off the top of your library, because a lot of times you blew your load on that massive swing, and everything you play has to wait for the opponent to have a turn to interact with it. However, and like I said, barring spells, which we'll get to in a second, I love 10th District Legionnaire because he has haste. Now, why are there only 2? I mean, the slots are kind of packed. They really are. I would cut an Arcanist for the Legionnaire, and we may after a couple games if we decide we want Legionnaire more. But in any other instance, you want your threats to be as cheap as possible, or to have as much of an impact as possible. And 10th District Legionnaire, as synergistic and awesome as it is, on its own, it's not going to have the impact the other threats will have. So that's why it is only a 2-of. But feel free to tune as you see fit. Like I said, this card could easily be a 3 or a 4-of at the expense of Arcanist. I wouldn't cut any of the other ones for it, but at the expense of Arcanist, depending on your playstyle, or if you're budgetary reasons, you know, you don't have the rare wild cards for Arcanist, this dude's an uncommon. Boom, done. Let's hop to the spells. So, we'll start with our cantrip/pump spells. The best of them, Defiant Strike. It may not seem like much, but +1/+0 until end of turn, and it replaces itself. Triggers all of our Magecraft and Prowess and all these other shenanigans, and then replaces itself. Drawing a card is huge. It's actually worth the added value of, say, a Homestead Courage being able to flash back because, I mean, just drawing card. Drawing card, people. It's fabulous. Homestead Courage, I did mention. I only have it here as a 2-of because Well, honestly, aside from the synergies of, Conniving or Legionnaire, Homestead Courage, you're only going to usually need one. It's nice to have more, but it doesn't do much on its own in a sense of it's literally just here to grow. It doesn't replace itself. It essentially is a 2 mana +2/+2 counters spell, So it's not replacing itself. It's not cantripping. So if you wanted to up them, again, feel free. However, I do feel there are better options. Speaking of which, we have Ancestral Anger. Oh, this card is just so freaking good. For 1 red, target creature gets trample and gets +X/+0, where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard. But most importantly, draw a card. Actually, no. To be fair, that's the second most important thing on this card. The first most important thing on this card is the word trample. Trample makes this deck work. That's all I gotta say there. And this card has been phenomenal. We used to play things like Crash Through and that kind of thing, and you can go back to those if you want, but the fact that this cantrips and makes your creature that much bigger, it's phenomenal. It has won me many a game just from the trample alone. Now, I spoke of haste. Samut Sprint is one I'm testing out as a 2 of. For 1 red, target creature gets +2/+1 and gains haste until end of turn, then you get to scry 1. It is very reminiscent of the card in traditional heroic decks, Titan Strength, which is +3/+1, and then scry 1, you do it in your upkeep. However, Samut Sprint gives you the haste, which, like I said with 10th District Legionnaire, sometimes you just need it to win. If not, you can cast the Sprint on your upkeep, try to fix your draws, anything of that nature, because the scry is good. It's just a great spell in general, but haste is the key word here. Being able to finish off your opponent or sneak something through that they weren't expecting if they tap out for a sweeper, it's huge. However, because it's only a scry 1, and sometimes the keyword doesn't matter as much, like if you're late in the game, it's only a 2 of. Kind of like the next card, Invigorated Rampage. This one's interesting, and feel free to up the numbers on this one. So for 2 mana, target creature gets +4/+0 and gains trample until end of turn, or 2 target creatures each get +2/+0 and gain trample until end of turn. Very versatile card. This is very often a finisher for the deck. Really just helps squeak through the last amount of damage, especially on something like a Virtuoso, giving it trample and +4/+0. +4/+0 on a double strike creature with trample, phenomenal. However, being that it costs 2 and our mana is usually incredibly tight, I get nervous running more than 2. I could see the argument for 3. I don't think I would ever advocate for 4 just because of how expensive it is. However, it is a phenomenal card. Feel free to, twiddle as you see fit, tinker as you see fit. Now we hop over to our other spell category. Number 1 up is God's Willing. 1 white instant, target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Scry 1. I hate that they made this card a freaking rare. You have to use rare wild cards for this. You know what? I'm just going to double check right now while we're talking about it. Oh, good. Oh, huh. I just happen to have them from the packs, but never mind. You know what? I take it back. In fact, I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to put in this so that people don't get confused. Oh, man. Whew. I'm actually quite relieved because certain things, certain Strixhaven cards, they upshifted them to rare, which is so just cannibalistic in the arena world, Rare wild cards are, they're precious. You gotta keep them. However, lucky for us, it is an uncommon, so I'm gonna make sure that is in the deck list so that nobody has that initial impression of like, oh man, I don't want to spend a rare wild card on that. However, it is a very important addition and does need to be here, so lucky for us, there's an uncommon variant. Lucky. Luckily. So anyways, 1 white, target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn, scry 1. It is our protection. It is our deck manipulation spell of choice. It's what we use to push through the damage. Fabulous card, nothing more to say about that. And then we got Reckless Rage. This is our removal spell of choice. Deals 4 damage to target creature you control and 2 damage to target creature, 4 damage to target creature you don't control, and 2 damage to target creature you control. 1 red, 4 damage, does the job. The beautiful thing about all of our creatures, with the exception, I'll get to this in a second, with Illuminator Virtuoso, is that you cast Reckless Rage targeting them, they all survive it, and they grow. With the exception of Arcanist, he just survives it. What I'm saying is, you cast the Reckless Rage, so you target the Lumimancer. Magecraft triggers, resolves, and then you've got a 2/3 Lumimancer that survives Reckless Rage. Same with Soul-Scar Mage. Dreadhorde Arcanist is already a 1/3. And then same with 10th District Legionnaire. However, do not fall into the trap I've seen many people fall into with Illuminator Virtuoso, where it's a 1/1, it has Connive, and in your mind you think it'll survive it. It will not survive it. Unless you have another spell or something to put another counter on this, it does not survive it. Now, later in the game, when the Virtuoso is a 2/2 or bigger, it will survive it. As long as it already has a counter, you have the potential to grow and make it a 3 toughness to survive that. But otherwise, I have seen people do this so many times. Do not do it. Don't fall into the trap and think Virtuoso can survive Reckless Rage on his own. He cannot. That being said, this is the best removal spell we have, and that's really all I gotta say. It takes down pretty much anything. That's about all I gotta say about that. Now, with Feather, it's significantly better because, of course, everything comes back, but we're not worrying about that right now. We're featherless. And then we just have a couple extra things here. I got a Spikefield Hazard and a Sejiri Shelter just on the side to up our land count, in addition to being spells for Magecraft and protection and whatnot. Spikefield Hazard is optional if you don't want to do it. I like it because it's an instant for Magecraft. It pings off things like Line of Werewolves or whatever you may have deal with. What are we in? We're in Explorer, right? Yeah, we're in Explorer, so won't ping line. Well, yeah, ping Line of Werewolves. They'll take care of little things. Otherwise, it's just another land to be played. And then the mana base is pretty much exactly what you expect. All of our red-white duels. I do have a lone Den of the Bugbear just in case the games go long, and a lone Seat of the Empire for very similar reasons. Just a removal spell, utility land. I thought about putting in the land that makes spirits, but it's just, there's nothing to cut. I usually would cut a mountain for that because it's essentially the same thing, but don't have a mountain to cut, and I'm not cutting a white source. Now, we're going to play this in best of 1. We may do what we did with the standard deck and play a couple best of 1 and then a best of 3. If that's the case, let's take a brief moment to go over the sideboard. I pretty much built this sideboard for what I expected to see, in a sense of I've got Fight as 1 and a Danto Vanguard for our anti-control list. So Danto Vanguard is pretty amazing if you haven't seen him. He's a 1/1 for 2. As long as he's attacking, it gets +2/+0. You can pay 4 life to give it indestructible until end of turn. I know, it sounds like a lot. It kind of is, but at the same time, if you're surviving every Wrath and the Vanguard is growing, it's worth 4 life, especially in a matchup like that where your life total is not going to matter as much. I mean, Vanguard's just phenomenal. If you've ever seen him in action, it doesn't need explaining. Granted, if we could put lifelink on him, he'd be just ridiculous, but you know, we work with what we got. And then, of course, Fight as 1 just allows multiple creatures to become indestructible and grow. So, again, this is our anti-control package. As far as, we also have Fries for either control or angels. We get Grafdigger's Cage for any kind of shenanigans involving the graveyard. Yeah, nothing to say there. Same with Unlicensed Hearse. I love Unlicensed Hearse. As you guys know, it's my graveyard hate of choice. I'm doing Grafdigger's Cage for the collected company lists out there, so if we do run into one of those, we got that to stop it. And then, of course, at the end of it, Bonecrusher Giant, because it's just, Bonecrusher Giant's just that good. We also, since we have nothing but, you know, no double colors in any of our stuff, we can just get a free Jegantha as a late game threat. Might as well, right? If you have a companion, you might as well use a companion. All right. Before we get into it, feel free to click like and subscribe. Feel free to smash it like that X you hate so much. It's a beautiful thing. Come back all the time. The Coliseum grows daily, and we will continue to grow in strength as we ascend to greatness, to Valhalla. That being said, my friends, let's get to the games. Yes, this is a keep. We got the Soul-Scar Mage, we got an Anger, Reckless Rage. I would like to have one more spell, but having the removal spell is pretty good. There's a couple things I am a little worried about us playing. Interesting. If this just eats a Fatal Push, I'm fine with that. We do have a backup one. Our turn 2 can either spend... Yep, there it is. This probably means... Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. We don't know if it is... Greasefang. It is not Greasefang. Interesting. Interesting. So... It probably is Greasefang, then. If that's the case, let's go Soul-Scar Mage again and let's pass the turn. Gotta hold up Reckless Rage. Now, granted, if they've got... Yeah, it is Greasefang. This will probably be quick. I'm not gonna lie, Greasefang is something that we don't do well against. Oh, well, we lucked out. Unfortunately, we don't have any way to capitalize on it because all we're gonna do is play 10th District Legionnaire and attack, because from here until the end of the game, we have to keep Reckless Rage open. Dreadhorde Arcanist is interesting. Is it better to do the Arcanist and then save the 10th District Legionnaire for next turn and set up that way? I think so. Let's do that. Yep. Unfortunately, we got to keep this Reckless Rage up. We'll be able to draw 2 cards next turn with Arcanist and play the Legionnaire. and hold up Reckless Rage, so we just have to keep our eye out for Greasefang. They've already got the Parhelion 2 in the graveyard, so that's all they're looking for. Yep. Ledger Shredder, sure. Oh, do we kill it? Yes, we do. Or do we? It'll be a 2/4. It can block. No, we have to, because otherwise we're just going to grow it as the game goes. Sorry, I'm thinking! Stop it, let me alone. Yeah, now we are very vulnerable to Greasefang, but we have to try to be able to win. If we cannot win, then, well, we won't win. Okay. He gets to consider, what's he putting in the yard, or is he putting it on top? Alright, test of talents, interesting. Alright, let's see what we find here. Let's get the red source out. Let's go 10th District Legionnaire. Let's try to find another Reckless Rage. Don't need Sejiri Shelter right now. Spikefield Hazard ain't gonna do it either, but here we go. Same plan, Ancestral Anger. Homestead Courage. It's not gonna matter. We need the Reckless Rage. God's willing. Well, if we're not doing anything, let's just get the extra damage in right now. Alright. So now, if all goes well, we might be able to do something here. If all goes well, we can do something. Alright, that's a good sign. You didn't find Greasefang, and that's the end of it. Good game, my man! Good game! This is Mythic! Mythic! Yeah! Beautiful. Oh, just such a good feeling. I tell you, people, everyone says getting to Mythic only means one more pack, it's not worth the work. I disagree. Once you get to Mythic, you just don't have to care about anything anymore. And if you don't care about anything... Ooh, Spectral Sailor in the main phase, eh? That is interesting. Let's just go with nice little... Let's get him for 5. Start the damage. We'll hold up this Reckless Rage for as much as we can. We'll see what we have here. Gonna have to play the Sejiri Shelter tapped. Oh, he doesn't have the Curious Obsession, which is nice. Clever Lumimancer. Let's get in, see what happens. He's got something holding priority. That's all. Clever Lumimancer. Set up for a big turn next turn. We'll play the Sejiri Shelter tapped. Oh, got me. Interesting. Spirits. Send in Spirit. You got him. Sure. Interesting. 10th District Legionnaire, eh? Sure. Another counter spell. Geistlight Snare. Sure, got him. Do I want to kill the spirit, or do I want to just attack? Let's attack. See if he wants to block. He does. In that case, I think we're all good here. No reason to rush. Let's slow things down. Oh, don't do it. I was gonna say, it's an instant. Please don't do it. Gotta be careful. This deck also plays Spell Pierce. We don't want to walk into a Spell Pierce. I never like doing things under turn in this unless it wins the game. Only for that reason. So let's start with an attack. See what happens. We don't have a way to push through the damage. Sure, Spectral Sailor. Got him. Oof. He ain't gonna like this one. Was it gonna double block and... Oh, just single block? Oh, sure. Yep. Got him. Soul-Scar Mage number 2. Now he's just got the Ascended Spirit. Bye-bye. Ooh, that's a beating. It's that last card. Gotta watch out for things like Spectral Adversary and that kind of... Uh-oh. Interesting. Den of the Bugbear. Well, let's start with the Homestead Courage here. He's got the Faceless Haven and the Spectral Sailor potentially holding priority here. 2, 4, 5, 5, 6. Let's do it. Let's get in for 10. Got me. Yep. 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 Okay, got him. Sure, sure. Beautiful. No reason to waste the cantrip, so just let him die. Need to draw a card. Perfect. Bop. Excuse me. Bop, bop. That's what I meant to say. Let's go Den of the Bugbear and let's pass a turn. Another Snow-Covered Island. Supreme Phantom, which makes the Faceless Haven a 5/4. Yep. That's interesting. You're trying to intimidate me, sir? Well, not to be intimidated. Nah, I'll just take 5. Ow. Let's do it. I'm just debating if I want to... There's a couple different options here. We can Den of the Bugbear, activate attack with everybody. We can hold up Defiant Strike. Let's go Den of the Bugbear, attack with everybody. Yep. Bop, beep, boop. Down to 5. I doubt he'll send in the Faceless Haven. Good game. You too, sir. I'm gonna shoot you the extra super special GG. This seems very reasonable. Ooh, we hit that third land, that Samut sprint. Dreadhorde Arcanist makes me hoo-ha, hoo-ha. We don't have any removal though. It's kind of a downside here, but we'll see how it goes. Ooh, baby. Oof, now I wish I had some way to capitalize on it. In fact, you know what? We could just cantrip it up and see what we can find here. Or we played 10th District Legionnaire and do that next turn. He played a... So we're going to be fighting against a lot of removal, potentially. Let me think for a second. We gotta get the damage in now. So I play Soul-Scar Mage, Samut sprint it, then Defiant Strike the Lumimancer. Alright, let's do it. Yeah. We gotta get him as quickly as we can. Don't need that. Get in for 6! Yep. Now we start seeing removal spells. Could come as early as next turn, but we'll see. Got him. Ooh, that's a brutal one. God's willing. Alright, Legionnaire. Actually, I should have probably gone with the Arcanist and then attacked for 1, kept the Legionnaire back. So at this point, Soul Shatter. Yeah, I got him. So it wouldn't have mattered. we gotta watch out for... Now we gotta watch out for Ritual of Soot, Languish, any of those things. But if he has targeted removal, we have God's Willing. He has Consider. He's also at 9. Like I said, I'm gonna try my hardest not to play anything during my turn unless he makes me. Okay, what else you got for me? Nothing, eh? That's a shame. Oof, and land. So we got Samut Sprint to work with. Well then, let's start with a Defiant Strike. Trying to bait it out here. Negated. Sure. Let's go for max damage here. Doesn't matter. Scry for next turn. Taking 6. Alright. Debating if I should have just kept that as a threat, but we'll see what he's got. And the turn, I'm not gonna pull over Jegantha because I'm gonna hold up God's Willing. Shadow's Verdict? Shadow's Verdict is a thing. Extinction Event. Sure. Well, I'm glad I kept the sprint. Got him. Alright, well, how about Mr. Soul-Scar Mage? Oh, good game, opponent. Good game. Ooh. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. Yeah. Start with the Sundown Pass. We only have one threat, which is a little scary, which means we cannot just throw this Lumimancer out into an open mountain, for instance. Stinks, because we're going to bottleneck our... Ooh, you know what? Actually... Man, I really wanted to play this as a land. But if I do the Lumimancer, kill the Steamkin with Reckless Rage, play... Then my Lumimancer is open to death. Oh, decisions, decisions. There's no way he doesn't have burn for the Lumimancer. I know. I think I have to wait. I think I have to be patient. I hate being patient. I know. Alright. Let's do it. And then we're gonna need wipe. And let's pass the turn. I'm not just gonna throw the Lumimancer out. If I had a backup threat, I would. But this gives us the ability to have a Reckless Rage and God's Willing up via Shadow Pyromancer. Sure. Does Wizard burn or something else, I wonder? Is Wizard's Lightning? Yeah, Wizard's Lightning is here. Is it here? I can't remember. That's unfortunate. Alright, play the Lumimancer, hold up the God's Willing, and go from here. Man, I really wanted that second red source. We'll see how the sequencing comes back to bite us. So now we got a handful of business and nothing to do. What in the world? Sorry. Wizard's Lightning is a thing. Alright, he doesn't have a response. Another Lumimancer? He doesn't have another response. At least one that's not instant speed because it didn't hold priority. So do I want the second threat or do I need to find more lands? Let's find more lands. We'll draw some cards next turn. Yep. Oof, that's a beating. Gonna make things a little awkward. But it all depends on, well, where my opponent chooses to. Yeah, that won't work. That won't work. He has protection from red. Doesn't work. You gotta wait till upkeep. Or response, or whatever. Here it is. He's got something else, eh? Whew. Man, I really wanted that second red source. See if he'll block him. He won't. In that case, we're just going to hold up the mana. That's it. We essentially have to be burn proof at this point. And the best way to do that is just to hold up mana until we find another threat. Man, not having that double red is biting me. Sure. Let's do the time warp again. Might as well. Skewer the critics. I think this is not going to work like I want it to. +2, +2, +4, +4 makes him 5. But then he deals. Response, he Fanatical Firebrinds. In response, we Reckless Rage, kill the Pyromancer, draw a card, but our threat still dies. Yep. 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 But that's okay. He ate a lot of burn. Now we just have to draw a new threat. Light up the stage. Oh, that's pretty good. Ooh, jeez. He's got a shock. It's alright. It's alright. Not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do. Flip out, man. Now I'm kind of regretting not keeping the second Lumimancer, but that's okay. Goblin Chain Whirler, that's a good one. Ow. He's gonna shock my face. Shocking. Alright, we got time. Well, let's do it. If he attacks for 3, I ain't blocking. I'll wait till I tap and then just crush. Nope. We're quite good here, sir. I got a Reckless Rage on backup for this bad boy. Another whirly boy. Dreadhorde Arcanist, you say? What's he got in his hand? He's got something here. Okay, let's get in. It's okay. Kapow. This is gonna be interesting. Last card in his hand is something. I think it's a shock, but I'm not sure. So when we Reckless Rage, when are we Steam Can? Sure. We're gonna be taking 3 here at the very least. Got him. Down to 4. Oof, Nailbiter. See if this Jegantha resolves. Ugh, another land is not what I needed to see. So what can we do here? What's the best thing to do? We can Invigorated Rampage. Both of them. Give them both trample, attack, and I guess Ancestral Anger and hope to find something here? He's at 11. Yeah, let's go with Invigorated Rampage. See what happens here. Or not big. I'm sorry. Ancestral Anger out of the graveyard. See if we can sneak through here. Target the Jegantha. Give him trample 2. Interesting. Is it blocking? Let's see if we can lethal him. If not, we've got the Ganjo for the Chain Whirly Boy, so that hopefully we don't die next turn. Oh my goodness! I was like, twiddly thumbs, twiddly thumbs, twiddly thumbs, dead. God, what did he have in his hand? Driving me insane. Hey, look who decided to show up. I'm sure we'll keep this hand. Just lead. So, I might lead with the Spikefield Hazard, actually. I could be wrong, but I do want to be able to go Illuminator Virtuoso with protection. And I was wrong. It's like I could be wrong. Quite wrong. Oh, there's my 1-drop. Beautiful. Let's play the Arcanist. Hall Monitor. Okay. So, Lightning Strike, Royal Eruption. If he attacks, we take it. And then it's time for Virtuoso to come down. Lightning Strike. Got him! Nice. I was thinking about if I want to play the Lumimancer instead, but no, I want to get Virtuoso going. Maybe we just hold mana. Get this God's Willing. See if he has any other burn. Robber of the Rich? Sure. Fervent Champion? Sure. Before he attacks. Actually, no. He's gonna attack. Almost. I mean, sometimes that's all it takes. Not the most impressive hand, but we'll try it. It's got a good chunk of removal. What the? Let's play the pass. Let's go turn to Arcanist and then start Reckless Raging everything we see. Probably the plan here. Gotta do it before things get out of hand. Oh boy, they're gonna get out of hand really quickly. Oh, maybe not. Let's go with the Arcanist. So next turn is gonna be Virtuoso, then we can hold up God's Willing. The attacks, please. We gotta watch out for. Gotta watch out for Chain Whirler and stuff. Yeah, what else? Let's go with the Virtuoso. He's got something holding priority, and that's what we're worried about here. Pass the turn. Arcanist isn't doing anything just now. Whatever he had that was holding priority, he did not go through with it. Sure. Again, I'll just take it. If he has an Ember Cleave, we've got a Reckless Rage, but he doesn't. Ah, interesting. Alright, now we start killing stuff. So we attack. I'm just debating if I want a God's Willing just to get the Virtuoso's toughness up. Because then we can hold up everything. Yeah, let's do it. Sejiri Shelter. We can hold up God's Willing. I just want Connive here. Red, doesn't matter. Then we want red and white open. Okay. Hold up God's Willing, hold up Reckless Rage, and then Invigorated Rampage for the follow through next turn. That's the plan anyways. Now we can Reckless Rage. Got him. Sure, you get in for 2. Seems reasonable. Let's see if we can kill him next turn. Reckless Rage. Actually, better idea. I don't know why I didn't think of this in the first place. Hasta la vista, baby. Good game, opponent! Excuse me. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Ew. I wish I was on the draw with this hand. I think I am going to keep it. We're going to go turn 1 Sejiri Shelter, turn 2. Yeah, let's try it. Oh. We could also just play the Lumimancer, but I don't like the idea of throwing things out there without... Yeah, if we play the Lumimancer, then we got nothing going on next turn. So we're just going to play that, and we're going to pass. Then we can play the Lumimancer, hold up God's Willing, and go from there. If he gets a cat, well, that makes things a bit complicated. He does not have the cat, but he does have the Ghast, which is annoying. Let's play the Lumimancer. Pass the turn. Got the Homestead Courage so we can start doing stuff. Deadly Dispute, sure. Another Lumimancer. It might have been better to do a God's Willing naming Black to further protect from Fatal Push, but if he expends another removal spell on the Lumimancer, I'm actually okay with that. I was hoping to draw a land so we could get the Virtuoso out there, but we'll see what happens. He's got the push, that's why we do it. Well, now we know. Knowing is half the battle. Perfect. Let's go Virtuoso and pass the turn. Oh boy, well this could be fun. This could be bad for the home team. Do we force him to do it? I think so. Yep. Got him. Got him! Draw a card, discard a card. I don't want to discard those. Discard the Homestead Courage. Yep. This is where we really need a Reckless Rage. that seems a little greedy. Sure. Okay. Cool. Let's go 10th District Legionnaire. Homestead Courage on that bad boy. Samut Sprint. That could be good. That's all for me, sir. Dreadhorde Butcher, nice. Rakdos Aggro, I love it. Priest of Forgotten Gods, brutal. Yep. Anything else, kind sir? No, you're not gonna do that. I was gonna say, no freaking way. Alright, so we're gonna go Lumimancer. Sprint. He's gonna sack the treasure in response. In response, we're gonna God's Will. Interesting. Target player sacrifices a creature. We're gonna attack for 8. I doubt he's gonna block. Can we kill him? I don't think so. 2, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 2, 4, 4, 8. We can hit him for 12. Yeah, that ain't enough. I'm debating here if I want to just pop one of these. Yeah, let's get in there. If he lets it through, I might pop one on the 10th District Legionnaire just for the extra damage, the scry, and the double scry. He needs to be able to activate this priest. Interesting. Virtuoso against a Mayhem Devil? No thanks. Land? No thanks. Hitting for 11, 12, 13. Not enough. Alright, here's where we're at. Let's see what he's got. This is probably going to be bad for us, I'm not going to lie. Claim the Firstborn. Yeah, don't matter now, because if he just sacks everything, then it's over. He didn't sack in response. I guess I'll leave it there. Let's hope we live. He should have sacked the treasure in response and killed the Lumimancer before the trigger resolved. That would have been bad for us. Oof, that's pretty bad too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get in, get in. Oh yeah, that does it too. No, actually it doesn't because the Legionnaire is... Oh yeah, it does. Oh, that's good game right there, buddy. What? Why didn't he just do it? Yep, that'll do it, buddy. Man, 6-1, almost got there. And let's take a look at those beautiful untapped.gg statistics. Overall, I will let you in a little secret. This is the deck that helped me push through Top Diamond 2 and Diamond 1 in order to get to Mythic. So you can see here, I've got a 73% win rate, 72 on the plate, 62 on the draw, 16-6 overall. Today, we are 6-1 for an 86% win rate, baby! I mean, we lost a game where we did not see the Reckless Rages when we needed to. A single Reckless Rage would have won that game, but yeah, well, that's life, you know? You can't always have the Reckless Rages and just throw them out all over everything, but Overall, the deck is phenomenal. It is doing beautiful. If you're looking for something for best of 1, I would definitely recommend it. It's also pretty sweet in best of 3. So you can see, overall, it has done amazingly. Rakdos is definitely a weak spot, especially RakSac. That's definitely a super weak spot, but we could deal with that another time. Let's hop back over to the deck. Where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, as far as changes, you know, I don't think I would change anything, believe it or not. I mean, there is an argument to be made for Dreadhorde Arcanist versus 10th District Legionnaire, like we talked about at the beginning. And if you want to go budget and just cut the Arcanist, or, you know, you don't have the wild cards for it, feel free and replace it with 10th District Legionnaire, but as you saw, Arcanist was pretty amazing. It was a pinch slower, but you were able to reap the rewards of that the following turn. So it's kind of one of those up to you things. Also, I like having a 2-drop that can potentially eat up removal so that the Virtuoso can come down turn 3 with protection, as you saw that a lot of games went that way. We didn't do any sideboard games because honestly the deck was just crushing it. So if it's on a roll, just let it be on a roll. As far as the sideboard goes, again, there's a lot of flex here. You could definitely cut into Danto Vanguard. You can definitely do whatever you need to here, depending on your metagame. Overall, though, I mean, you saw the deck was beautiful. It was beautiful. It went up against a variety of different decks, a variety of different things. The only things we didn't see were like a control-type list, and that one really just comes down to you being able to stop the... Oh, no, wait, we played against Dimir control. Again, he had Oodles of Removal. He didn't have a sweeper. That's the difference between Dimir. Dimir does have some good sweepers, but they're never as consistent as Azorius's. You know, there's no Wrath of God type effect, even though I personally think that in Explorer, Ritual of Soot is a Wrath of God effect. However, back on topic, I feel like we have a better Dimir matchup, even if they do have tons of targeted removal because of God's Willing, whereas Azorius has targeted removal and more sweepers that are more efficient. So that's a toss-up. If you're seeing a lot of control, I would stick to best of 3 so you can get these Vanguards in here and get some of your other goodies. But otherwise, if you're just looking for a best of 1 deck to grind through, this thing is fast, it is powerful, and it is solid. And to be honest, you can cut... Let's see, what rares are even in here? Soul-Scar Mage. Ooh, you know, it's tough without Soul-Scar Mage because you need a maximum amount of 1-drops. It is something you can do. You could definitely cut Arcanist up to 10th District Legionnaire. And by all means, if you want Feather in here, you can. You can give up Jegantha as your companion and go for that route if you so see fit. But as it was, you know what? I kind of like Featherless more than Feather. However, I will acknowledge that Feather is incredibly powerful, so it is more up to you than anything. All right, my friends, that is all for me. I will see everybody later.